Garlic has been called many names across cultures and centuries. Some view it as nothing more than a cooking ingredient, while others see it as one of the oldest natural protectors known to humankind. What makes garlic fascinating is not only its clear health benefits for the body, but also the symbolic and emotional weight it has carried through generations. When you look closely at human history, you begin to notice that people often gave deep value to foods that carried both physical and spiritual power. Garlic stands exactly at that point of connection. It heals the body, yet it has also long been seen as a wall against darkness, malice, and unseen forces. Why is that? The answer is simple. Garlic represents purification. Its sharp, penetrating nature refuses to let corruption stay. Crush a clove and its scent fills the air immediately, strong and impossible to ignore. In the same way, when you eat it regularly, it strengthens you from the inside, creating a barrier against whatever tries to weaken your system. In many traditions, this became more than food. It became a symbol. Evil cannot live where there is strength, purity, and clarity. Garlic came to represent that refusal to be corrupted. Its power was believed to chase away curses, repel dark forces, and dissolve hidden ill will. But let's bring that idea closer to something psychological, because symbols only hold meaning when we live them. Eating garlic each day isn't just about the nutrients. It's about the act of choosing to protect your energy. When you include it in your meals, you are practicing a quiet ritual of resilience. You are silently declaring that your spirit will not be easily touched by negativity, that you won't allow hidden poisons, whether emotional, mental, or energetic, to build up inside you. Garlic becomes a reflection of clarity and strength. It reminds you to stay clean in your thoughts and firm in your emotions. Most of the battles we face are not physical, they're invisible. A cruel comment that sticks in the heart, a draining atmosphere at work, a repeating thought that slowly kills confidence. These are not witches in a literal sense, but they behave like witchcraft. They creep in quietly, poison the spirit, and make you feel smaller than you are. Eating garlic every day becomes a way to say, I will not keep what tries to harm me. I will cleanse. I will stay strong. I will stand tall. On a deeper level, garlic also carries a lesson about strength through discomfort. Many dislike its sharp taste, the smell that lingers on the breath, its boldness. But inside that intensity is wisdom. Real protection isn't always soft or sweet. Sometimes what guards us is raw, strong, and without apology. To eat garlic is to accept a shield that doesn't bend. Its bitterness teaches endurance. If you can handle a little discomfort, you gain great protection. That's why ancient cultures didn't treat garlic only as food. They called it a weapon. They hung it on doors to guard homes, carried it as charms, and consumed it to keep their life force pure. Whether you believe in curses literally or understand them as forms of negativity and harmful energy, the message remains unchanged. Garlic builds a wall of strength around you. Its nature isn't passive, it's active. It demands that anything approaching you comes with clean intent. So, when someone says eat garlic every day, it's not just a superstition, it's a philosophy. It's about involving your body, mind, and soul in the act of defending what's yours. To eat garlic is to tell the world, I will not be consumed by darkness. I carry within me a shield that nothing evil can pass. Strength often hides in simple things. A small clove of garlic, ordinary and humble, can hold the power to push away whatever tries to weaken you. The real question is, will you ignore it as just food, or will you see it as your daily protector? Then there is the onion. often ignored because of its simplicity. It sits quietly in nearly every kitchen, plain and familiar. Yet ancient people understood its quiet power. Like garlic, the onion carries a reputation that goes beyond health or taste. For ages, it has been used not just as food, but as a tool for cleansing, a magnet for hidden energies, and a shield against unseen negativity. When we peel an onion, layer after layer, it becomes a symbol of life itself, each layer protecting another, just as our actions and emotions protect our inner self. The structure of the onion reflects who we are. We too have layers: our outer behavior, our spoken words, our hidden feelings, and deep within, our truest self. Just as the onion guards its heart, we must learn to protect our spirit. Life constantly throws energies at us. Some feed us, some try to invade and weaken us. Throughout time, onions were placed in homes to draw out sickness, absorb bad energy, and protect the people living there. Even today, some traditions still use onions to trap negativity, believing that it naturally pulls unseen toxins into itself. It may sound mysterious, but at its root lies truth. The onion stands for the principle of absorption. It shows that sometimes we don't need to fight poison directly. We can simply pull it out, neutralize it, and let it go. That is why people once called it a breaker of curses. It stops harmful energy from spreading by drawing it away. When you eat an onion daily, it works in two ways. Physically, it strengthens your body, supports your immune system, and purifies your blood. Spiritually, it becomes a statement. I'm ready to face what hides within me. Think about what happens when you cut an onion. You cry. That is no accident. The onion forces release. It makes you shed what's trapped. And that is exactly what happens when we face hidden negativity in our lives. The old pain, the toxic habits, the unspoken anger. We cry, we let go, and through that process, we heal. The onion teaches us that cleansing is not always gentle. Sometimes it burns, sometimes it makes you tear up, but through that sting, you find freedom. If you think of curses in modern terms, they are the invisible weights we carry, the belief that we aren't enough, the habits that pull us backward, the thoughts that drain us. They are unseen, but their effect is real. Eating onion regularly can become more than a health habit. It can be a reminder that you are purifying yourself from these hidden chains. You are releasing what no longer belongs in your system, layer by layer. Even if the process stings, you accept it because clarity is worth the tears. The onion also whispers a lesson in humility. Unlike the bright, sweet fruits that demand attention, the onion hides its gift under plain skin. Its power is quiet, its presence humble, yet it holds strength that works in silence. It doesn't show off, but it transforms whatever it touches. That's the beauty of true protection. It doesn't need to shout. It simply does its work faithfully, underground, growing, quietly in darkness. Its power is not in appearance, but in essence. In the same way, true protection and true breaking of curses often happen silently. It is not about loudly declaring your strength, but about quietly building resilience so firm that nothing outside can pierce your inner core. The onion teaches us that even the most ordinary things can hold deep power. When you eat an onion, you are not only nourishing your body, you are symbolically telling yourself, I am shedding layers of negativity. I am releasing hidden toxins. I am protecting the essence of who I am. By doing this, you align yourself with a principle that repels darkness and breaks curses, not because of superstition, but because you are no longer available for darkness to cling to. The idea is simple. Every layer you peel away brings you closer to truth, and truth is always stronger than the curse. The question remains, will you carry the hidden weight, or will you release, cleanse, and step forward free? The choice is entirely yours. Honey is unlike any other food. It is not manufactured, not artificially assembled. It is the product of nature's delicate cooperation. Bees gather nectar from countless flowers, process it with care, and store it in a form so pure it can last centuries without spoiling. When you hold honey, you hold condensed sunlight, transformed through the work of a living community into something that nourishes and heals. Throughout history, honey has been recognized for more than taste or nutrition. It has been seen as a carrier of light, a sweet armor protecting the spirit from bitterness, darkness, and curse-like influences. Bitterness weighs on the human soul. When someone curses you, either literally or through harsh words, they plant bitterness into your life. Honey stands against this. It dissolves bitterness, softens the heart, and introduces sweetness where life feels harsh. Many traditions consider honey sacred, a divine gift. It was used not just as an offering but as a way to seal protection. Consuming honey daily reminds you that sweetness is stronger than venom, light stronger than shadow. The psychology is profound. Introducing honey to your body not only nourishes you physically, but teaches you to respond to negativity with lightness instead of heaviness. It programs your system to hold on to sweetness, to carry warmth, even when surrounded by forces wishing to see you bitter or broken. When you embody sweetness, darkness cannot linger. Those who thrive on envy or malice cannot maintain their power against someone radiating genuine light. Honey becomes more than food. It becomes a shield. Honey also teaches patience. It does not appear overnight. It requires a long process, small, consistent efforts from bees working together until abundance is produced. In the same way, sweetness of character, inner light, and resilience against negativity are not built in a day. They come through steady practice and daily choices. Eating honey regularly is a reminder. Protection is built not in bursts of effort, but through patient accumulation of light. Each spoonful strengthens your resistance to darkness. There is also humility in honey's nature. It does not boast, does not seek recognition. It simply exists as one of nature's quiet miracles. Humility is itself a form of armor. Curses and negative forces often target pride, arrogance, and insecurity because they are easy to exploit. Humility combined with inner sweetness creates a protective field that is difficult to penetrate. By consuming honey and embracing what it represents, you move through life leaving no space for curses to attach. Honey is sweetness for the soul. It reminds us that protection is not always about fighting back. Sometimes the most powerful shield is simply radiating goodness, clarity, and warmth, leaving darkness no entry point. Eating honey is choosing sweetness over bitterness, patience over haste, humility over pride. By doing so, you place yourself beyond the reach of forces thriving on anger, envy, and negativity. The reflection is simple. Light dissolves darkness, sweetness softens bitterness. Will you carry that light daily or allow negativity to take root? Honey teaches that even small doses of sweetness taken consistently can transform the system. The choice is yours. Dates are called the fruit of the desert, but their significance goes far beyond survival. For thousands of years, they have been revered as nourishment for body and spirit. Dates are associated with vitality, blessing, and renewal. They are not just energy for the body, but a symbol of spiritual strength. To understand why dates are seen as a breaker of weakness and restorer of resilience, we must look beyond sweetness to their deeper meaning. Dates grow in harsh desert environments, thriving under relentless heat in soil that offers little comfort. The tree rises tall, bearing fruit rich with life. This resilience is the first lesson of dates. Strength is not being shielded from difficulty, but drawing power even in the harshest conditions. Eating dates daily brings this symbolism into yourself. You remind body and spirit that you too can thrive in hostile conditions, that you can carry vitality even when circumstances drain you. This is why dates are considered powerful against curses and negativity. A curse, whether literal or metaphorical, functions by weakening, draining, and sapping motivation. Dates do the opposite. They renew, restore, and strengthen the aura. Eating dates is reclaiming what curses try to steal, your life force. You nourish not only your body with sugars and minerals, but your spirit with the reminder that you are meant to be strong. Psychologically, dates teach replenishment. We often fight battles while depleted, resist negativity while running on empty, hoping to overcome obstacles despite exhaustion. Dates advise a different approach. Replenish first. Feed your spirit before resisting forces that would weaken you. Desert travelers carrying dates understood this. They did not cross endless sands without food to sustain them. In the same way, we cannot face daily deserts of stress, conflict, or negativity without something within that sustains us. Dates remind us of preparedness. There is also a sacred aspect. In spiritual traditions, dates are eaten during prayer, fasting, or periods of transition. They bridge body and spirit, nourishing while reminding the mind of higher purpose. Eating a date becomes more than satisfying hunger. It becomes an act of preparation, protection, and alignment with strength. Reconnecting to what truly matters is essential. This is why dates have long been linked with breaking curses. A curse grows stronger when it distracts you from your center, from your true self. A date brings you back to that place. Consider the shape of a date palm. It grows upward, tall and straight, with its fruits gathered near the crown, reaching toward the sun. There is a lesson here about aspiration, about directing life upward, and remembering that real strength comes from rising, not collapsing into the ground. When you include dates in your daily life, you are following that pattern in a small but real way, choosing growth, choosing strength, choosing light. The wisdom of dates is this: never let negativity or curses weaken your spirit. Feed yourself with energy and strength until you overflow. When your aura is full, when your life force is replenished, no darkness can take hold. Curses fade not because they disappear, but because they cannot stick to someone overflowing with vitality. The reflection is simple. Weakness invites darkness, but strength makes it vanish. Dates remind us that spiritual strength is essential, something that must be nurtured daily. The question is, will you face life empty, or will you carry within you the fruit that makes you untouchable? The choice is yours. Salt is one of the simplest substances in existence, yet its influence on humanity is immense. Entire civilizations rose because of it. Wars were fought over it, trade routes built around it. The word salary itself comes from salt. Without it, human survival would have been nearly impossible. Beyond its physical uses, salt has always held a deeper meaning. It is the quiet destroyer of corruption, the silent purifier, the element that stops decay from spreading. Across cultures, it has been used to break curses, repel witchcraft, and undo hidden forces that cling to the spirit. Salt is fascinating because of its dual nature. When dissolved, it becomes almost invisible, unnoticed in water or food. Yet its effect is undeniable. Even a slight change alters everything. This mirrors spiritual protection. You do not need grand gestures or loud rituals to guard yourself. Small, consistent practices are enough. The salt you eat daily, the salt sprinkled at your home's entrance, quietly dismantling negativity before it takes hold. Salt shows that power does not always need to be visible. It only needs to work. Psychologically, salt embodies boundaries. Just as it preserves food by keeping harmful bacteria out, it protects the human spirit from destructive forces. Eating salt daily can be seen as a symbolic act of strengthening your inner limits. It reminds you, I will not let corruption enter me. I will not allow hidden poisons, mental, emotional, or spiritual, to linger unchecked. Salt becomes the invisible line that nothing impure can cross. This is vital when considering curses. A curse is essentially an intrusion. It seeks to distort your energy and weaken your defenses. Salt, whether literal or symbolic, disrupts that intrusion. Its sharp essence dissolves what does not belong and restores balance. That is why salt has been scattered in corners of homes, placed at thresholds, carried in pockets for protection. It does not announce itself, yet it works with certainty. If garlic shields and onion absorbs, then salt destroys. It does not just repel darkness, it dismantles it. Salt has a unique role among protective foods. It neutralizes threats without fanfare. Real strength often works quietly. There is also a lesson of purity. Salt comes from the earth and the sea, connecting us to nature's essence. Bringing it into your body reminds you of that primal purity. Purity is not weak, it is sharp and unyielding. When life becomes clouded with confusion, when negativity wraps itself around you, returning to purity is often the solution. Salt embodies that return. It is a callback to simplicity, clarity, and a state where darkness cannot hold. Eating salt daily is not just about seasoning. It is fortification. It is a reminder that you carry the power to neutralize harm before it overtakes you. Ordinary elements can hold extraordinary power. Salt is quiet, but its impact is profound. Will you ignore it or embrace it as part of your daily protection? The choice remains yours. Lemon, associated with freshness, clarity, and renewal, is sharp in taste, invigorating in scent, and undeniable in effect. Cutting into a lemon changes the air immediately. Its presence is impossible to hide. That is why, for centuries, it has been seen not only as food but as a cleanser of body and spirit. Where garlic shields, onion absorbs, honey sweetens, dates strengthen, and salt preserves, lemon cuts through. It slices directly into negativity, dissolving it at the root and leaving only lightness. Curses and dark energies thrive on obscurity. They cloud the mind, weigh down the heart, and confuse the spirit. Those under their influence often feel directionless, dull, unable to see clearly. Lemon does the opposite. It brings sharpness, brightness, and clarity. Eating lemon daily is like guiding a blade of light through your inner being, cutting away what does not belong and dissolving the haze. Many live under invisible weights, not literal spells but negativity, unhealthy attachments, or destructive patterns. Over time, these influences become so familiar that clarity feels foreign. Lemon awakens the system. Its sharpness demands attention. Its freshness revives the senses. That is why it is a fruit of purification. It refuses to let you remain numb. It brings presence, awareness, and a state where darkness cannot hide. Another lesson from lemon is that purification is rarely gentle. Its sharp taste can sting, almost too much to bear, yet that sting is the gift. Releasing what burdens you can hurt, just as lemon stings a wound to prevent infection. Eating lemon daily is a ritual of acceptance, a willingness to endure brief discomfort to remain free of corruption. Its color, bright yellow and radiant, is a vibration of illumination. Lemon carries light into the body, mind, and spirit. It teaches that clarity is always possible, renewal is always available, and darkness cannot endure genuine illumination. On a deeper level, lemon reminds us of simplicity. It is straightforward, without complexity, cutting directly to what matters. Life often pushes us to solve problems with complicated strategies, but sometimes the solution is clarity itself. Lemon asks you to stop tolerating what clouds you, to release what burdens you, and return to what is essential. Bringing lemon into your daily life is more than refreshment. It is a cleansing, a restoration of clarity. It is not superstition to say that curses break before lemon. Darkness cannot coexist with light, and lemon carries that light within. Life will always bring shadows, forces that seek to obscure your vision. But clarity is not given, it must be chosen. Lemon reminds us that purification is a daily act. Light is a daily commitment. Will you continue under the weight of what clouds you, or will you cut through it with awareness and step fully into the light? The choice is always yours.